What the? I have never in my life. Like what is that?
Hey, look at this. You wanna
Swiss chard? I'm sorry. That's a beet?
Oh, it's a beet. No, I thought this was Swiss chard.
I thought it was Swiss chard too, and I've been wondering because I was like, that Swiss chard looks so pathetic.
No, come on, that is Swiss chard.
No, that is. Why does it have a beet bottom to it?
They always have a beet bottom to it.
No, I've never. What is that? This is turning into like a nothing is going as it should.
Yeah. What?
Like this is like a bag of tricks happening right now. Today is one of my favorite episodes that I do. This will be the second year that I've done it, and that is harvesting sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are actually any potato is just so much fun to harvest because you really have no idea what you're going to get. So I'm really looking forward to doing this, and I hope you are too, to see what the results are. Last year I grew only purple sweet potatoes, the ube variety, and this year I grew 3 different ones. I grew Japanese yam, the typical orange sweet potatoes, and then the purple sweet potatoes. So the Japanese yam and the orange ones didn't do very good this year. These are the ones that are right here. And you can see that there isn't really much greenery right there. But then the purple ones on this side here, those ones did amazing based off the greenery. So we're gonna really see on how well they did. We had a incredibly dry summer here in Ottawa, so I didn't really water them a ton, which is making me a little nervous on how they're gonna come out, but otherwise I'm still really excited. If you're new here, my name is Bree from Urban Gardening Canada, and I garden in Ottawa Zone 5, and I'm gonna show you what we end up getting, but I also just want to talk to you about growing sweet potatoes as a whole, because they are a hot season or a hot climate crop. They don't grow quite the same here in Canada as they do in warmer areas, but you absolutely can grow them here, as you're going to see by the end of this video. Okay, so I am harvesting early just so that way I can give you guys some tips when it comes to harvesting and let you see what they look like. But normally, if I wasn't going to be filming, I would be harvesting them when the first frost hits and the greenery is going to get hit by that frost. Because our season is so short, I want to leave them as long as possible to grow as big as possible. But for the purposes of today's video, I am going to forfeit a couple weeks of growing time specifically for you guys. So the first thing I want to talk about is the mistakes that I made last year. Last year was the first time I ever grew sweet potatoes. So the first mistake that I made was not harvesting enough of the sweet potato greens. So they are actually not part of the potato family, but actually part of the morning glory family, and the leaves are edible and highly nutritious. So I did save some of the leaves last year, but really it was maybe a bag's worth. But when you freeze the leaves and you go to use them, they actually crush up into this tiny green powder, so they are really great for smoothies, which means that you get access to a lot of really good nutrients over the winter time when you're making them. So this year the plan is to save as many leaves as possible, and the good thing is that once we freeze them, if we crush them up in the bag, they're going to be able to take up less space, so we'll be able to save more and more. And the second mistake that I made was I washed my potatoes before curing them. Now, it wasn't really a mistake for the fact that I didn't have enough sweet potatoes to actually cure and store. There was only enough to really eat fresh. But this year I'm hoping that we get more than last year, which means that if I am going to have more, I do need to cure them. And that means not washing them and getting them wet, but rather we're just going to brush off the dirt on them and then cure them. Another mistake that I made was that I planted the sweet potatoes with other plants in the garden. So if you remember last year's video, I had to dig up my sweet potatoes around eggplant plants because I didn't want to pull out the eggplants, but I needed to harvest the sweet potatoes. And so I was having a lot of trouble trying to dig them up while there was other plants around it. So this year, the gardens that you're going to see here, There is some dill and Swiss chard in the one side here, but those ones, I planted the Swiss chard only purely because I didn't have space for it, so I don't mind if I lose it, and the dill just grew on its own, so again, I'm not worried about losing that one either. But otherwise, I planted the sweet potatoes in their own garden this year so we can pull everything up and not have to worry about digging around other plants. So I definitely would suggest planting your sweet potatoes in a very designated space that's just for them and not interplant it with anything else. So because last year was the first year that I grew sweet potatoes, I also didn't really know how to cure them properly, but I have figured out how to do it this year, because to cure sweet potatoes, they need high humidity and a warm area. And if you're waiting until your first frost date here in Canada, there is no high humidity or heat coming after this. So the plan is to put them into a lidded Tupperware with a bowl of water and a growing heat mat underneath it to give it that warmth and that humidity. So that is the plan. If we get enough potatoes for this season, that is how we're going to cure them. So I'll show you how to do that too. And if you're watching this and you don't grow your own sweet potatoes, but you want to grow them for next year, then you are going to be starting growing your sweet potato slips in January, which is just 3 months away from now, three and a half months away until you start growing your sweet potato slips, which is really exciting. And I do have a video on how to do that, so I will link that for you in the description below. And otherwise, I'm super excited to dig them up. So me and Colin are going to do that together. He's never dug up sweet potatoes before, so this is going to be a fun time for him as well. But before we get into digging up those sweet potatoes, I did want to mention that I have a course. If you wanted to check it out, now is such an amazing time to be taking courses because the garden has slowed down and it's a time of relaxation and being inside. And this course is all online. It's self-paced. It includes text and videos as well as worksheets. So it gives you all the time through winter to work through it and read all of the different lectures. So that way, starting in 2026, when it becomes garden planting season, you can plan your garden with all of these tips and tricks in mind. And it really is on how to become a more sustainable gardener, both for how to have a lower footprint on the planet while you are gardening, but also how to prepare your garden for any type of wild weather that we're experiencing, whether it's droughts like we experienced here in Ottawa this year, really high heat, flooding rains. This is going to teach you how to build your garden and plan it in such a way that it can withstand all of the weather that's coming at you. So if you did want to check it out, I'll leave it in the description below for you. And otherwise, let's start digging up these potatoes. Yeah, so there's two choices. If you want to dig first.
No, I want to cut the leaves off.
You want to cut first? Because this one we're not keeping the leaves.
Yeah, but there's other stuff in there. You got dill and stuff in there, right?
I don't care. We can all be pulled out.
Nah, I want to start cutting the leaves.
So you want to cut first instead of doing the fun part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you technically supposed to wait for all the leaves to die back?
No. Okay. Well, I mean, if you're going to let it hit by frost, then it's going to die back.
Yeah.
But we want to eat the leaves, so I don't want ours to get hit by frost.
True. I think we're going to have too many greens, you think?
I mean, obviously, yes, is the answer. But I know that, like before, we regretted not having them, but so much liquid coming out of these guys.
So much what?
Liquid coming out.
Yeah, it's like
milky.
Yeah, it's spitting on my face.
It's refreshing. Yeah, even the Japanese beetles cared more for the orange or the Japanese sweet potato more than this purple sweet potato. Like the leaves are in way better condition.
Oh, if you want to put it in something with leaf greens in here, or you good with it?
I was kind of just moving this out of the way and doing it. So when you are taking the leaves, if you want to eat them like in a stir fry, then these smaller leaves are more tender, so they're nicer for that closer to fresh eating that you're going to be doing. But if you are going to do what we're doing and you are freezing them, then the big leaves are totally fine to use too. They just get more firm, I guess is the word that I'm looking for. They're not as tender, the opposite of tender. So they're not as good for that really fresh eating. But they're perfectly fine for how we're using them, where we're going to be putting them into the freezer for the winter time for smoothies. And obviously you don't need to pull the damaged leaves and eat those because you're going to have enough of the other variety, the undamaged leaves from how much it puts out. And then anything that's kind of old and yellowing, you don't want those either. Like you just want the nice healthy green leaves. And you don't have to do this. It's just technically your potato harvest is also a leafy green harvest at the same time. So if you wanted to enjoy the food in two different ways and use the whole crop, then this is a really good way to do it. So this is how much greens we're keeping, which is a decent amount.
A bean.
A bean.
Do you need the seeds?
Yeah, may as well keep them. I hope they're not too small just from us digging them up early.
Yeah, they feel small.
They look small.
Yeah,
and the lack of water that we did too.
How deep do they go?
Pretty deep.
Okay, ready for the first batch?
They're so small. Compared to last year?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any more left in there. A root. Do they go deeper? What is this? Here's another one.
Like they're so tiny compared. Last year they were like literal full-size potatoes.
Well, that's the first
They're
one.
Small.
Okay, this one's a typical color.
Oops! They're supposed to all be purple. I obviously mislabeled them.
Yeah. This one's decent size.
Oh, careful.
What?
You just wrecked
Scratch it?
Yeah, see that?
Oh, weird.
So we'll
just by rubbing it?
Yeah, that's why they have to be cured.
That's so
because
sensitive.
their skin is otherwise it's too
Here's a purple one.
too soft, so you have to be really careful.
I don't even have nails.
I really regret not watering them more.
Yeah, well, it's too late now, eh?
Yeah.
All right, next one. This one feels bigger. Nope, that's a sweet potato, all right.
It is?
No, it's not.
I'm
It's just
like,
hard.
that looks like
Hard rock. Guess they're all attached to the root ball. Okay, here's one. Do you want to wear gloves or are you good?
Do you think that the 2 weeks, if I waited, would be like a significant
Difference? I don't think so.
I don't know.
This is all waste.
I'm like mind blown by how small they are compared to last year. But
Maybe
last
you
year
overpacked them?
No, well, I don't know, but last year we had like tons of
water.
rain and
You shake that off. Look at you more.
like
Decent
just
size.
isn't that wild how many potatoes grow off the roots?
Yeah.
Like so interesting.
I wonder if the soil was very compact too.
No, because we had just moved these garden beds.
Similar.
So all the soil is like really new. I mean, this is a perfect example of how like slips grow on a potato. If you had buried this is exactly what the slips would look like come January when you're regrowing them. I like refuse to believe that.
There's nothing left under.
Yeah.
There very much might be. I'm not going that deep in them. Found one. Nice. You can have that. That one didn't grow anything.
What the?
Or unless they're really deep here.
I have never in my life. Like what is that?
Nothing. A whole bunch of roots. But
Except
nothing.
for one that was turning into a potato. Oh, look.
What happened?
You left something behind.
I don't see anything.
I think these are the Japanese yams. You definitely left something behind down there.
Well, it was kind of close to this one,
This
so.
is the Japanese yam. I have never experienced like anything like this.
Here's one.
Like most of these are the purple potatoes, but then there's
Yeah.
like one orange. Like these are like carrots
Yeah.
more than anything else.
That's what I'm wondering, if the soil was like a little too dry. So
Well,
too
it's definitely
compost.
dry because I wasn't watering, so that definitely is going to matter.
Yeah. Okay, this one's a good one.
It's nothing compared to like what you're buying at the grocery store, though.
Oh, they're really small.
They're pencils.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's a good one.
one half decent potato.
Yeah, had up a whole harvest. Lots of pencil thin ones. Like they went really deep. But I don't know if they would have gotten any better. Maybe one more.
I just think it's like a mix of like the 2 weeks early and the lack of rain.
Yeah.
And how dry the season was.
Okay.
Which is a very big learning experience.
But they need lots of water.
Yeah, to be like, I should have been actively watering them.
Yeah.
If I expected something to come out of it. These were literally supposed to be the best ones that we had.
Where are they?
So like that side's gonna be even more disappointing than this side.
Maybe that got more water than this side.
No, it didn't. Yeah, like here's the thing, like we grew these last year and they did amazing.
Yeah, lots of water last year.
Lots of water last year. So it's not like it's our area that's the issue.
No.
So like it's not to be like, oh, zone 5 can't grow these.
Yeah.
Plus we're digging them up 2 weeks early.
Yep.
It's funny because I only grew like 4 sweet potato slips last year.
Yeah.
And we just dug up 6.
We got barely anything.
And we got literally the same, if not less. Ooh, is that stinging nettle?
Oh, I'm gonna grab my gallop. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. I'll grab it. It looks like it. Hey, look at this. You wanna
Swiss chard?
put it over there?
I'm sorry. That's a beet?
Oh, it's a beet. Oh, that's a beet.
What did you think that was? A big root ball?
No, I thought this was Swiss chard.
I thought it was Swiss chard too. And I've been wondering because I was like, that Swiss chard looks so pathetic.
No, come on. That is Swiss chard.
No, that is... Why does it have a beet bottom to it?
They always have a beet bottom to it.
No, I've never. What is that?
What do you think it is?
I think...
It's right here. Do beets? You're gonna have to Google that up. Because that's the Swiss chard leaf right there. Come on.
Why is it Swiss chard with a beet on the bottom?
Maybe we got a hybrid. New in town. Hybrid.
This is turning into like nothing is going as it should.
Yeah. What?
Like this is like a bag of tricks happening right now. Like I still don't even know what this is.
Yeah, I know. We gotta figure that out.
Like, is this what the future of a bunch of potatoes were supposed to look like? But yeah, when I cracked them in half, they're white on the inside. I think these are the Japanese yams.
They're so thin.
I don't know what happened.
Maybe they didn't get a long enough season. Did you grow Japanese yams last year?
No. I don't think these are going to be very big because when I dug up a few a couple weeks ago, they were not big at all.
You don't think they're going to be as big as that one, at least? All right.
I guess the only thing to be mindful of is the chives in the corner there.
Oh, that's chives? I've been trying to kill it. Oh, is this this is part of that. Oh, look at that.
That's a Japanese yam.
Put this somewhere.
At least that one's normal sized. This one we'll have to eat fresh tonight probably because of it being broken.
Doesn't even last one day. Oh, there's more down here. Look at this guy.
Oh, finally.
This bed's doing well.
Okay, so the Japanese yam did good, other than that weird one.
There's another long one.
That's a nice one. That's a touch of the plant.
Yeah, see.
Anything that gets broken,
yeah,
we have to eat like right away. So
it's hard to grab them.
That's pretty decent. Now if we had like 20 more of these.
Yeah. Hey, look what I found. This came out of there too.
Peanut.
Let's go squirrels.
Plus, they had a really hard time when I planted them in the springtime. That really cold season, it like pretty well knocked them off their buds. So it could have been that too.
Here's the promising one. This guy's good. Decent sized.
I mean, you buy them at the grocery store, they're like 3 times that size.
I know.
All right, guys. We've arrived at Sad Station.
Station à la Sad.
And this is what we are left with is a Swiss chard beet and potatoes.
Did you plant that Swiss chard beet, Brie?
Yeah. I don't know what that is. I think it's a beet.
Well, you're gonna cut it. That's how you'll know when you cut it.
Okay. Like, here's the thing. I don't remember last year, like, having this, like, a thin root attached to where the vine was. Like, I don't know if they grew so big that they just kind of outgrew that part.
Yeah.
Because every time you break it off, like, you leave a susceptible spot.
Yeah. This is a good one. Best one.
Yeah, that's a really tragic best one.
That's like the one you planted.
Yeah, it's probably still smaller than the one I planted.
Do you need to like fake the video and we should go to the store and get some?
Yeah, we should.
Put some actual potato in there.
We should actually dig up our white potato too.
Where's our white potato?
In a bag over there.
Oh, we should.
Do one last final tragedy at the end.
Sure.
This has honestly been the weirdest gardening year I've ever had. I had some things that were more successful than I've ever had before, but this like ends the season with some weird stuff going on. So we are going to harvest the potatoes. I made a video for you guys showing you how to grow potatoes in bags. One of the two bags of potatoes did not survive because I wasn't watering it, because I didn't realize we were in a drought until it was too late. And the other one just looks weird. So we're gonna end this video with some more weirdness, because why not? 2? The whole plant's just gonna have 2 potatoes?
3. A lot. You got all excited.
I did. That's a potato?
Yeah.
But like, this is a rotten potato.
Maybe it's the original.
That's just a weird rotten potato.
Some little babies.
I don't even remember. I have to go back to the video to know how many potatoes I even planted in there. Maybe that one rotten potato was it. So we got 4 potatoos.
Yeah, let me hold it all up so the people in the audience
can just revel in what we've done here.
How many did you plant? Lower. Did you plant like 5?
I don't even remember how many whole potatoes I planted.
This is a Yukon potato?
I don't even know. I guess we knew this was going to end in disappointment.
Yeah.
And it did.
We were expecting that. Any more potatoes?
There are. This is why I like to do it in a wheelbarrow. Yeah. Especially if you're growing potatoes in bags, because then this is the fastest way to search for potatoes.
More potatoes. Look at that.
Oh, you brought our Swiss chard beet. Yeah. And then just one rotten potato. Like, I'm gonna leave it somewhere so that way it can turn into a zombie potato. Yeah. But this is a pretty decent amount of sweet potatoes if I hadn't planted so many potato plants. That's bad for the amount of slips I planted, but it's not bad in general. Okay, so you want to cure your sweet potatoes for a couple of reasons. You want to make sure that the skin gets thicker. And if you notice, while we were harvesting, we were ripping the skin like incredibly easily. So this is what curing is going to do. It's going to help thicken up the skin, and the thicker the skin, the longer they're going to last in storage for you. So if you grow enough for storage, then you want to do the extra long curing version of this. But if you didn't really grow a lot of them, you can either eat them fresh or do this part of the curing process, which is only 10 days long. And this is going to thicken the skin up a little bit, but it's also going to bring out the sweetness of the sweet potato. So I wouldn't recommend skipping this part of the process, but you can skip the 6-week process at the end of it that I'll tell you about. For curing your sweet potatoes for the first 10 days, you need it to be hot and humid, which is really hard to do in the end of September, especially for a lot of us that grow in cold climates here in Canada or the northern US or anywhere else that you are that's cold. So what I am doing instead is I have a really bright window, a heat mat here, so the type of heat mat that you use for seedlings. I have a bowl of water for the humidity, and I am going to place my sweet potatoes in this really long Tupperware container. And I have it clear so that way you guys can actually see what everything looks like. And the goal is to get it 85% humidity and about 29-30 degrees Celsius or 85 Fahrenheit. So this is what's gonna happen here. I am going to plug in the heat mat just to make sure that I have a consistent amount of heat, because the sun only comes through the window for part of the day, and the bowl of water is gonna help bring up that humidity. So we're gonna now put all of our sweet potatoes in here. Okay, so I am going to put the cup of water in the dead center right on top of the heat mat, so that way it's really gonna give up that humidity. And then I'm going to go through all of my sweet potatoes and just make sure that they aren't too damaged, because if your potato is heavily damaged, it's going to rot as you're curing it in this humidity. But if it's perfectly whole, then you can put it in here. There are some here that we have that have a little bit of skin damage on them. I am gonna try and put them in here to cure them, and we are going to hope that it should be fine because it is pretty cosmetic of damage. I don't have many of them that are severely damaged from when we were harvesting them, but you do have to be really, really careful as you are harvesting them to not crack them in half, or, you know, take a shovel or a spade and really cut deep into the potato, because that is going to cause problems when it comes to the curing process. So this part's really important because you want to bring out the sweetness of your sweet potatoes. But I have eaten my sweet potatoes fresh without doing any curing, and they have tasted really great. So it's not an absolute necessity, but it is if you want to bring out that really nice flavor. So after this, you're going to put the lid on it, turn on the heat mat, and then you're just going to want to keep an eye on the temperature inside of there and the humidity in there to make sure that it is exactly what you're looking for. So say, for example, here, this is like the world's tiniest root of a potato, but you can see that the tip got broken off. So I'm obviously, if this was a larger version of it, this would be an example of what you don't want to be putting in there to cure, because you don't want them to rot. And so you're better off, when you've broken a few of them, it's just better to eat them fresh than it is to try and cure them and let them rot, because why would you ever want any of your sweet potatoes to rot if you have the opportunity to eat them fresh? So I'm gonna put a lid on this, and then I'm going to plug in my heat mat. And the heat mat that I have doesn't have temperature control on it, so I am gonna find a digital thermostat or thermometer to put in here just to monitor what it looks like in there. Okay, so now that they're in here, they're gonna get nice and hot and humid, and you're gonna store them for 10 days. And like I mentioned, that 10 days is just about giving it that sweeter flavor and a bit of a thicker skin. And you can definitely eat them at that time, and they're gonna last you for a few weeks, which is what we're gonna do because we just don't have enough to have any longer than that. But if you grew a ton of them and you wanna store them for 8 or 10 months, then this is the next step for you. And that is, after the 10 days, you're gonna cure them for another 6 weeks in a cold room that is around 12 degrees Celsius or 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And I've never done this before because this is only the second year that I've grown sweet potatoes. But if you do want to do this, you're going to wrap them up into some newspaper or something that can help wick up any excess moisture. You want to put them in a container where they can breathe, so nothing with a lid on it. Wrap them up, and then you're going to want to check on them probably once a week just to make sure that nothing is rotting, because the last thing you want to do is go down there in 6 weeks and find all your food has rotted. So if you have a basement, this is going to be a really good place for you to put it, but you want to make sure that it's a dark area outside of sunlight, and wait those 6 weeks. And when that time comes, the skin should feel a lot harder, more like what you feel at a grocery store, and it'll have a way sweeter taste to it. But I'm not worried because these are gonna taste so sweet. Homegrown potatoes taste so good, whether you eat them on the day you harvest them, the 10 days later, or the 10 days plus 6 weeks. You're really gonna enjoy your homegrown sweet potatoes. If you want to grow sweet potatoes and haven't before, then January is going to be the time, and I have a video on how to make those slips, so I'm going to make sure that it's included below. But also, you're going to want to do this. You want to be where I am in September harvesting your sweet potatoes. It's just so much fun, and we're just a few months away from starting them again. So if you are hoping to grow them coming up next year, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you grow sweet potatoes, I hope you also enjoyed the weird and wild experience that we had. This didn't go to plan at all. And it's been maybe 4 days since we've harvested these potatoes. And looking back, I think it's a mix of, in May, we had like unseasonably cold, freezing cold weather for 2 weeks. And I had already planted my slips out. The nights were 0 degrees, so 32 Fahrenheit. Like, it was just so cold, and they struggled. As much as I tried to cover them, a couple of the plants got hit really hard by that cold weather. They do not like it. My options were to plant them out on time and they deal with the cold or potentially good weather, or wait almost a month to plant them out and then lose that month of growth. So really it was a lose-lose situation for us here. And then being in a drought and not recognizing we were in a drought and not really watering them didn't help the situation. For the purple sweet potatoes, you saw the greenery. It was so lush. They were blooming with flowers, and I honestly thought that it was doing really well. But in hindsight, I really should have been watering it more frequently to get a better size of potatoes compared to how good they were last year. So these are all just like learning experiences that I'm going to write down in my journal, so that way next year I know to make sure that they are getting a proper watering all the time if we experience another drought again next summer. But otherwise, that is everything for today's video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and check out this video here. Bye. All right, I'm recording you.
All right, welcome to Urban Gardening Canada. This is a video on sweet potato harvest. We're gonna start with some purple sweet potato. Then we're gonna move on to some Japanese sweet potato.
Don't you love
followed
how
by
windy it got as soon as we...
yellow sweet potato.
Yeah,
and
orange, not yellow.
Orange sweet potato. And what I'm looking forward to the most is to see if... What do we start with? How many sweet potatoes did we start with in the ground? How many slips? How many slips? 6?
No idea.
You don't remember how many slips? All right, great. And so we started with, we don't know how much, and we're going to end with some amount. And yeah, we're going to be so proud of it, regardless of how it goes, because we don't know where we started from. So that's the highlight. All right.